Hey everybody, welcome back to Supercard. I know in my last video I said I'm back and I'm going to be back to making a video more on the regular, but life happens, stuff like that. You can even go back and watch the last video, which I think came out probably 3 days ago. I haven't played a single game since then. I just haven't had the time to play a game. I didn't even get one shard in Ring Domination for the Legendary card. Didn't get that at all, so I didn't see a point in doing any of Road to Glory. Even though the Survivor card was a Nikki, I just made a pro of her, so I don't really need it. I haven't played any King of the Rings. So this Flash PCC has come up now. About 12 hours from now, so kind of tells you what time it is when I'm recording this. So the top 550 get both of these cards as the pro. It's the only way to get this pro. They're not gonna offer it up. I don't. Seeing as how I haven't even played a game in the last 3 days. I've barely been on this in the last week because I'm telling you, WrestleMania tier is coming next week. I don't know if I have it in me to go for these cards, even though these are actually pretty good now that I'm looking at them. Roman Reigns loses by 6 in toughness, but is up by 14, so he's plus 8. Plus 9 puts him at 17. So, yeah, they are equal in stats, but those are good stats as well. And I think, as well, for the first time, I could be wrong, but as always, the top 2150 get just the event card. I don't think this has ever been offered. A Survivor Pro in PCC, I don't think that's been offered yet. And it's only between ranks 2151 to 2650. I have a single of both of these. So maybe I will play some games, see if I can even just get a single of those, because there's no point in me just getting one event card. I need the pro. That's really the only thing that would benefit me, but I don't know. I don't really have the time for it. I'm gonna, let you guys in on what's been going on with me, stuff like that. See, I still haven't finished training up that second Brie, so that really tells you how little I've actually been playing. I didn't want to say anything in the last video just because I wasn't 100% sure on what was going to happen. I'm still not really 100% sure on what is going to happen, but there's been some pretty major changes in my personal life. Part of it I do not want to get into, just because it's not really something I want to talk about, if I'm honest. But the part I will talk about, it doesn't matter that I procced, I still lose. I've been going to see one of my friends a lot more recently, which is somewhat related to the other issue. I've gone back to see some old friends. I'm having fun seeing people I haven't seen in a while. I started to hang out with him a lot. He's living at a friend's house, and we're driving around or whatever. We had to go pick up someone. We're hanging out, and he made this comment that he needs to leave where he's staying. Not that there's anything wrong, but the place he's staying, he's only able to stay there right now because the brothers and sisters are off at school. They're staying away for university, college, all that. I don't really know too much about it. And so he can't really stay there by the time the summer show comes because, they've all got to move back in and stuff, just typical life stuff. So he made the comment that he's looking to move out. He wants to get his own place. And he had asked me, do I know anyone that wants to move out of, wherever they are, or if they're somewhere else and they're just not happy there, if they want to look for somewhere with my friend. And it got me thinking, and I said, hey, I want to move out. Like, it has nothing to do with work or anything here. There's zero issues going on in my house. It's my personal life, the area I live in. I need to make some changes in my personal life. That's what I have to do. But the way things are going for me right now, I'm just at a point right now where I need to get out. Like, I can't be in the city I'm in. There's just too much going on I don't really think I can handle everything that's going on here right now. So my friend had made that comment that he wants to move out, and we are pretty serious about it. I still don't know 100% if that is our plan, because I can stay where I am while I'm in work and getting ready for school and stuff. That's no issue. Him, not so much. I've been going back and forth over these last few days about, is this something I want to do? Like, do I want to, like, I am comfy where I am. I live 5 minutes away from one of my jobs, and it takes me 40 minutes to get to the other job in no traffic, but I'm comfortable where I am. I'd be paying a lot more rent from the places I've been looking at, because I do pay rent at my house, and I'd be paying a lot more from if I excuse me, if I were to go somewhere else. So there's still a lot of variables. I'm still kind of flip-flopping on what I want to do. That I'm not too sure if because this is kind of a big thing. The first time you legitimately properly move out. I've lived with friends before. That's a story I'm not getting into, but for about 2 months I did live with some friends. How old was I? I was 18 at the time, so it was 4 years ago. And I had fun those 2 months. It was like a non-stop party, but I also got into a lot of trouble back then, and a lot of issues and stuff like that. So be careful who you live with. It's one way to look at it. So we have looked at a couple of places. We put in some applications for some stuff. One of the places we looked at, like, was a nice loft, and it's walking distance from my job that's like 40 minutes away. It's my far job, so I would be able to just walk to that job if I really wanted to. And then, I'd end up having to drive 45 minutes to the one that used to be 5 minutes away. So I just kind of switched how it is, but that place it's nice. And it's right on, like, the main street of, I think that might be a city where that is. I don't know if it's a city or if it's still classified as a town. I don't know what it is, but it does look nice. But then we can also get something for the same price that's a little bit north of where I live, that's classified as a country residence. It's got a dirt trail up to the place. You got 30 acres of property. There's a forest surrounding the place. There's like a big pond in the backyard. Not for you to swim in, but it's, you'll get like ducks and stuff like that. And that's for the exact same price. But, that's not within walking distance of anywhere. You have to drive every single place you have to go to. So it's kind of like, do you want the space, but there's nothing around you, and you got to drive for everything? Or, a smaller space, but it's a loft instead of like a very, nicely well done renovated basement type apartment thingy. So you either take the country thing or the place that's right on Main Street by all the bars, 5 minutes away from where I work. A lot of people in that area, and so it's decisions, and I'm still not 100% sure on my plan, on what I want to do for realsies, I guess you could say. But, I'm still in contact with my friend. We're keeping up to date with each other with, what places are getting back to us, if we've heard from any saying, no. Because, in all honesty as well, I'm 22 now, my friend is 25, it might be tough for someone who is renting an area to go, okay, well, this guy's 22, this guy's 25. How do I know they're not just gonna trash the property because they're young? Like we expected to sell this or rent this to someone who is considered a professional, or you maybe a family. They got a kid, stuff like that, and then you've got two giant people. Like, I'm not saying I'm a giant, but I'm 6'4", and there's not many people that I know that are taller than me, but I'm not saying 6'4" is tall. It's decently tall. If I went to the NBA, I'd be one of the smallest men on there. But then there's my friend who I'm potentially living with. He's like 6'8" and double my weight. So, oh Jesus, man, I should have used the support. Watch this be a tag team. Okay, we got lucky. He's 6'8", 344 pounds. He's double my weight, so half that you got my weight. So people might not want to rent to, I'm pretty tall, and then, there's just a literal giant that wants to live there as well. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. That's why I haven't really been able to upload a lot of these things, because I'm constantly out there checking out these new places. I've been working a lot as well. Like I did overnights last weekend, so I finish Sunday morning, so I sleep pretty much all of Sunday. Gotta flip my sleeping pattern back to a normal thing for the Monday, and try and, get all my stuff done that I wasn't able to do the week before. I had to fall asleep really early so I could be at work for 10 o'clock in the morning, which I don't do that. I can't remember the last time I went to work at 10 o'clock in the morning, because that's just not for me. And then Wednesday, looking at more places, and I was in work Thursday, Friday, I was in today, which was Saturday, now it's Sunday, and later on today, on Sunday, and on Monday. But I'm looking at houses in the day as well, or, apartments and stuff like that. So I really haven't had the time to do any of these videos, or even play this game. That's why that Brie is, still a single. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope I can start doing these more regular. Please take care.